All right, guys, welcome. Coffee with a Killer. Can everybody hear me okay? I want to make sure our audio and whatnot is good before we dive in. Just let me know in the chat, wherever you guys are watching this, Facebook, YouTube, etc., if you guys can hear me okay. If this is your first time tuning in to Coffee with a Killer, my name is Jordan Payne. I am the founder of Black Gold Trading, amongst a couple other things. And this show is really to try to impart a little bit of what I've learned over the past decade, being an entrepreneur, being self employed, being a real estate investor, being a digital investor, the whole thing. Okay. So glad to have you guys. I want to talk about, and what I titled this as, what is real? I think that you think that things are real that really aren't real. Okay. So I want to talk about the market a little bit. Never mind, you can't hear me? You guys can hear me, right? I want to talk about the market a little bit. So we've been sold this lie that price
Bluetooth disconnected.
equals value. Okay? The price of silver, the price of gold, Bitcoin, Nasdaq, price equals value. That's a massive myth. Like massive myth. It means nothing. Okay? The value in the price
Bluetooth
is really
connected.
whatever the big investors want it to be. It has nothing to do with the asset. Okay? So the moment that any asset becomes digital, it is no longer real. Okay? Get that in your head. The moment anything becomes digital, it is no longer real. Okay? So let's look at you got real versus paper. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, $21 million coins. Sounds scarce. Shouldn't Bitcoin be going up? Okay? There's only 21,000. Like there's a limited supply. Michael and some of these other investors own a massive amount of that. Shouldn't, as the asset gets more scarce, shouldn't the price be going up? Well, no. So what we have is we have Bitcoin futures. I know some of you guys trade that. We have ETFs. We have derivatives. So Wall Street, they can create an unlimited paper Bitcoin. That is why you see these massive swings in Bitcoin. The fact that it's scarce, the fact that there's only a limited amount of this, that there's only a limited supply, means nothing once we started getting Bitcoin futures, ETFs, derivatives. Okay? They're not buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not being bought. When you log into TradingView and you pull up your asset, it's all bull. It's BS. It's directly manipulated. But we think it's like, oh man, like the price of Bitcoin is blank because of blank. It's not true at all. Okay. They're not buying Bitcoin, they're buying contracts related to Bitcoin. That is what's moving the price up and down. It is not the asset. Does that make sense? Okay. You can manipulate price without ever touching a single Bitcoin, without ever purchasing, buying, selling Bitcoin, because it's not the asset that's being traded. Okay. Silver. For every ounce of silver, and I've got some notes over here. So for every 1 ounce of silver, there's 30 ounces of paper silver being traded. So again, you log into TradingView or whatever app you prefer, and silver went way up. Did it? Question: Did silver go up? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Did silver go up? Yes or no? And then silver came man, silver crashed. Did it? It's a valid question. If you guys are investing, if you're trading this stuff, gold went up, it went down. Did it? So COMEX, in the futures market, they set the price, but it's not actually based on silver. It's not based on gold. Okay. If every buyer holding paper silver demanded delivery tomorrow, the system would collapse. That is exactly what you guys are seeing right now. So look back like 3 weeks ago. Silver hits an all-time high. Did it? It hit an all-time high. Okay. Guess what all these people that had silver did? Get all these people, man, I've been investing in, I've been buying silver since the 50s, since the four. I was buying silver when it was $5 an ounce, when it was $2 an ounce. I'm gonna sell. The problem is that that silver never existed, okay? It never existed. There was this shared idea, and this goes all the way back to 1971 if you guys have listened to any of my other shows. This goes all the way back to the idea of 1971 when we took, the United States off of the gold standard. We were able to print as much as we wanted to have an influx into the economy. Same with silver, same with Bitcoin, same with gold. So the price didn't actually go up, the price didn't actually go down. Well, what did happen is people with physical silver, that's the only thing that's real. People with physical silver said, "Man, the price on paper, I've tripled, quadrupled, 10x my money. I'm gonna go ahead and sell because it's the smart thing to do, right?" Guess what? There was not enough physical to support selling. So what happened with silver? Just this massive tank. And all of these institutions, what they had to do was they had to short. They had to do all these different things. Same concept with the bank. If everybody goes to the bank and says, "Hey, I'd like to make a withdrawal," we don't have the money. Silver, I'd like to sell my silver. We don't have the money. But silver's at whatever. Silver's at X amount an ounce. On paper, okay, cool. Well, I want to sell some of my paper, but the money doesn't exist. But wait a minute. It's going up and down and up and like it's got to be real. Like something has to be happening. False. We still good on comments. It says I have an issue here. You guys still hear me? You guys good? The comments still working? Somebody let me know real quick. So what is real? Physical's real. Physical gold, physical silver, even something like XAUT, which we use a lot, tied to physical gold, physical silver, etc. That is real. What you see on the chart is not real. And if you wanted to get really, really deep, and if you really wanted to go down the rabbit trail, almost nothing is real. Trading futures is not real. You're trading, and this is what we do every day, by the way. So I'm not bashing this because we make a lot of money doing this. But trading futures isn't real. It's like this massive joint idea of value. The problem is that when ideas start to collapse, the world starts to collapse. So this is not being God is real. Amen. You know what? I'm going to throw that up on the screen because that is the best comment I've seen in a long time. So you got to be real careful, guys. Play the game, but you've got to learn what game you're playing. I feel like a lot of people don't understand what game they're playing. They think that this is all real. Guys, it hasn't been real since 1971. They think their 401k is real. It's not real. They think welfare is real. It's not real. This whole thing, one of these days, I'm going to go missing. And you guys are going to be like, what happened to Jordan? One of these days, somebody's going to get real mad about me talking about this stuff, and I'm going to go missing. And I want you guys to understand what happened to me. This is not real. All of this stuff. I would go as far as to say most of what you guys eat isn't real. Most of what you consume, most of what you drink is not real. Think about it. Are you eating real food? Most people it's no. No, I'm not. Are you drinking real liquids? No, I'm not. Are you investing in real stuff? No, I'm not. This shared idea, there's a couple things to it. Number one, it's based on a lack of education. You just believe blank because it's just normal. Normal is BS. Okay? So there's a lack of education out there. And this is part of why this show exists. There's a lack of education, but an overwhelming amount of let's just go with the flow. Let's just go with think of like a slow, lazy river. We're just going with it. This is happening, this is happening. It's all cool. My life isn't affected that much. But the problem is that you're living. and this is really gonna make me sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I use this word very sparse. You're living this simulation. Truly, you're living a simulation. The money you earn, for a lot of you guys, the food that you eat, what you invest in, what you believe, what you think is real and isn't real, you're living in this world that is not real. Erica's about to smash some Chick-fil-A, probably not real. Okay? So what can you guys do? What can you do? Number 1, invest in physical stuff, okay? Invest in physical stuff and then never sell it. It's the whole basis of Havila. You buy it, you never sell it. I'm telling you guys, if you were to go and try to sell all of your silver, if you had, like, any sort of, significant amount, you would not be able to complete that transaction. You go to the bank, try to pull out your money, it's not real, doesn't exist. Just like they can do for every 1 ounce of silver, there's 30 paper ounces of silver being traded. Just like that, it's the same thing with your money at the bank. That's why I am rapidly moving away from using banks. I'm really close to being completely autonomous. Well, that seems a bit far-fetched. It's not real. I can't stress this enough. Like, guys, we gotta have a wake-up call at some point. We need to start getting involved in, like, real assets and real money. Paper money is not real money. Your bank account is not real money. It's not there. It doesn't exist. Again, a lot of the food you eat, a lot of what you drink, it's not real food or real liquid. And there's a million other things we could tag into there. It's not real news. It's not real people on social media. Half of this stuff is AI. There's this movement that we've seen over the past decade where we've moved from, at one point, living in this real world to now, man, like it's all fake. What we see, what we hear, what we believe, what we invest in, what we spend, how we make money, it's all bull. And the reason for that is if everybody used real money, there would be no way to manipulate it. There would be no way for them to sell 500 million ounces of X because it wouldn't have existed. In order for it to exist, they had to create it on paper. That's why for every 1 ounce of silver, there's 30 ounces of paper being sold in ETFs, derivatives, and futures because there's not an actual enough of it. Same with gold, same with Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin only has 21,000 Bitcoin. If we were to live in that world, if we were to abide by that with real assets, guess what? The ultra wealthy would not be able to manipulate it the way that they're manipulating it. And that is a no no for them because they want to be able to manipulate it. If everybody started eating real food, what do you guys think would happen? If people started taking real medicine, what do you think would happen? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. What would happen if everybody started eating real food? Meaning, can't be processed, can't be made in a lab, can't be made in a factory, it's got to be grown. What would happen? Man, Jordan, we didn't think you're gonna be talking about this today. Gotcha. Wake up, people. Wake up. Big pharma loses money. Well, certainly that's part of it. Certainly, if we all started eating real food, well, first of all, especially in America, this is, I won't speak for every other country, but with food specifically, and with money, but let's just talk about food for a second. With food specifically, if we all stopped buying fake food, the chips and like the processed shit, we'd have a massive shortage of food. Okay, farmland's going out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Guess what? You don't need a farm if the food is fake. You need a factory. So there's that. We'd have a massive shortage of food. Okay. People wouldn't be getting as sick. So big pharma now has a problem. food would get more expensive 100%. So I'm not gonna make this political, but I am. Why is there so much pushback? What's the gentleman's name? The guy that's in charge of, like, he's, like, kinda, like, changing the food pyramid. I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's, like, the health dude now that Trump brought in. I'm sure you guys know, I'm drawing a blank. Why is there so much pushback against this? Why is there so much pushback about, "Dude, we don't need to give our kids 1,900 vaccinations." Dude, the food pyramid's BS. "Hey, you can't use these chemicals in food anymore in food anymore." Why is there so much pushback? And again, I'm not trying to make it political, but there's a reason why, there's only been one president or president's staff that's trying to do some of this stuff. Yeah, RFK. Yep, that's what it was. So my advice, guys, and I'll probably cut it here because I could go off for hours. My advice is to sit down, preferably with a spouse if you have a spouse. And I want you to look at what's real and what's just think really hard on what's real. What is real? Is the money that we have real? Is the banking system we use real? We're investing in ETFs. Is that real or is that just paper? Paper's good until it's not. We got a bunch of money in the stock market. Is that real? We're about to order food tonight. Is the food that we're ordering real? There's a couple, and I'm often carnivore. Not to make this a diet thing, but I'm often carnivore. And my God, the shift in how I feel and how I think when I'm eating food, meat. And I'll get off carnivore. I'm off carnivore now. And I'll look at the food that we're eating and I'm like, dude, what am I eating? Like, I'm eating these Cheetos. Is that food? Where does a Cheeto come from? No, I'm literally eating shit that is made in a lab. And my entire personality, my entire physique, my facial everything is radically different when I'm eating meat versus when I'm eating whatever it is that people eat out there. So I want you guys to your homework, just sit down and just look at your life and say, "Man, what is real and what is not real?" Cool? Love you guys. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for an actual trading topic. Some of you guys like that. Appreciate you guys. Do your homework. We'll see you guys next week. See you at 1 o'clock, though, for the VIP after hours.